The movie opens 2 years after the events of Hobbs and Shaw, 2019. Luke Hobbs, Dwayne Johnson, has returned to Samoa, finally embracing a quieter life with his daughter, Sam, and his extended family. He has built a small security firm that works with global governments on high-risk extractions, but swears to stay out of shadow wars. Meanwhile, Deckard Shaw, Jason Statham, lives in London, secretly hunting for clues about his sister Hattie's disappearance after a covert MI6 mission, when both men receive encrypted messages from unknown sources, warning that Eteon was never destroyed. They realize their past isn't done with them. Before they can reconnect, simultaneous attacks hit both Samoa and London, targeting Hobbs's family and Shaw's safe house. The attackers wear exosuits bearing a symbol, a red wolf. Their leader, a masked soldier named Alecto, delivers a message through the carnage. The Wolfpack has returned, blood for blood. Hobbs and Shaw are pulled back into action once again. The duo reunite reluctantly under CIA coordination, where they meet Agent Locke, Ryan Reynolds, again, now promoted but still annoyingly chatty. He reveals that Eteon didn't die. It evolved. Alecto is the codename for a rogue general who once worked inside Eteon's cybernetic division. He has combined biotech, AI, and weaponized nanites to create soldiers that can adapt to any combat environment. The Wolfpack's goal isn't world domination, but revenge. Alecto blames Hobbs and Shaw for the death of his brother, Brixton, the cyber-enhanced villain from the first film. "You killed my blood," he vows in a recorded message. "Now I'll erase yours." When Hobbs learns his family is the primary target, he becomes fiercely protective. Shaw, though, hides his guilt, because it was his bullet that ended Brixton's life. Their alliance becomes strained as old wounds reopen. But with Eteon's AI now controlling global weapons systems, they have no choice but to trust each other again. MI6 confirms that Hattie Shaw, Vanessa Kirby, was captured by Alecto months earlier during a covert mission in Eastern Europe. Footage shows her being experimented on, her DNA fused with nanotech to create the perfect hybrid agent. However, her willpower resists the programming. Hobbs and Shaw track the signal to Berlin, leading to a high-octane chase across rooftops, armored trains, and drone-packed streets. They eventually rescue Hattie, who is disoriented but alive. She warns them that Alecto plans to trigger Project Genesis, a viral code that will rewrite human DNA using airborne nanites, wiping out all non-enhanced people and leaving only perfect survivors. The clock is ticking. In 7 days, the signal will activate through satellites linked to every military network. Hattie's condition worsens as the nanites inside her begin to take control. Shaw promises his sister he'll save her, no matter the cost. The trio follows intel to Morocco, where Alecto's lieutenants are auctioning stolen cyber weapons to global terrorists. Here, Hobbs unleashes his signature brute force, while Shaw uses surgical precision, creating an action sequence filled with humor, chaos, and teamwork. Hattie, struggling with her enhanced reflexes, surprises everyone when she single-handedly defeats an entire strike squad. However, her unstable condition draws the attention of Alecto, who speaks to her through a hacked comlink. He reveals that the nanites were coded using her own DNA, meaning the only way to stop the Genesis virus is to sacrifice herself. This revelation devastates Shaw. Hobbs, ever the optimist, insists there's always another way. They capture one of Alecto's scientists, Dr. Lyra Voss, who reluctantly agrees to help them. But she warns, the cure isn't in science, it's in control. Alecto doesn't just lead Eteon. He is Eteon now. Hobbs takes the team to his homeland for safety, reuniting with his brothers Jonah and Mateo, Cliff Curtis and Roman Reigns. Samoa once again becomes the battleground for freedom. Shaw and Hobbs clash over strategy. Shaw wants to go solo and end it quietly, while Hobbs believes in fighting as a family. During a rare quiet moment, Hobbs' daughter Sam tells Shaw, "You're just like Dad. Stubborn, but brave." It softens him, reminding him of what he's fighting for. That night, Alecto's drones locate their base, launching an airstrike that devastates the island. In a heart-pounding sequence, Hobbs drives a massive armored rig through fire to evacuate the villagers, while Shaw pilots a stolen stealth chopper. Despite their efforts, Jonah is captured during the chaos, forcing Hobbs into personal war mode. The Wolfpack's message is clear. They're coming for everyone the duo loves. The team traces Alecto's headquarters to a massive underwater base hidden in the Arctic Circle, a hybrid of organic tech and living metal. Using stolen clearance codes, they infiltrate the facility, disguised as Eteon scientists. Inside, they discover thousands of soldiers growing in pods, perfect cybernetic clones powered by human memories. Among the frozen chambers, Hobbs finds Jonah in stasis, wired into the base's core as a bioenergy source. Alecto appears on hologram, taunting them, "You called us monsters, but humanity built us. I'm not your villain. I'm your evolution." Hobbs destroys the main console, triggering alarms. The facility begins to flood as Alecto's enhanced army awakens. The ensuing fight is pure chaos. Metal clashing, ice shattering, and explosions tearing through the oceanic fortress. Hattie begins to lose control, her nanites syncing with Alecto's network. Alecto emerges, revealing his true form, an upgraded, self-repairing cyborg with Brixton's memories integrated into his core AI. His mind and machine are one, his voice echoing both vengeance and pain. The final showdown begins. Hobbs goes toe-to-toe with Alecto in brutal hand-to-hand combat, while Shaw and Hattie battle their way to the control chamber. Hattie realizes the only way to stop Project Genesis is to link her mind with Alecto EQS and overload the network from within. Hobbs refuses to let her sacrifice herself, but she insists, "You both saved the world once. Now let me do the same." As the countdown nears 0, she kisses her brother goodbye and connects to the mainframe, initiating a neural overload. The base collapses under seismic explosions as she and Alecto vanish into light. Hobbs and Shaw barely escape as the underwater base implodes. They resurface amid icy waves, exhausted and broken. Weeks later, global networks confirm Project Genesis was neutralized, and Eteon's influence dismantled, but Hattie's body is never found. Shaw is consumed by guilt, believing his sister died because of him. Hobbs comforts him, saying, "She didn't die. She made sure we lived." They part ways once again, Shaw returning to London to rebuild, Hobbs going home to his daughter. Yet both men feel the same emptiness. In a post-credits scene, a faint signal emerges from deep space, Hattie's voice whispering, "System, rebooting." 6 months later, Hobbs's security company becomes an official international task force known as Samoan Black Ops, designed to counter rogue tech threats. Shaw is recruited by MI6 to form a new covert team, including Locke, Madam M, Isa Gonzalez, and surprise guest Han Lue, Sung Kang. The Fast universe begins to merge again. They receive intercepted data, revealing that remnants of Eteon are rebuilding under a new name. Genesis Prime, the signal source, deep within the Earth's mantle, suggesting something non-human has taken over. Shaw hesitates, staring at the data feed, where a distorted hologram of Hattie briefly appears, her eyes glowing silver. "She's still alive," he says, "but she's not the same." The final sequence brings Hobbs and Shaw together one last time. They stand on a Pacific beach, watching the sunset, reflecting on everything lost and gained. Hobbs smiles. Funny thing about family, it keeps getting bigger. Shaw smirks. Yeah, and a lot more dangerous. As the camera pans upward, a satellite blinks red. The Genesis Prime Network. Reawakening.